Feeling like a boss, I done made it. Get so like a spaceship.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between our visitors and the Dallas Cowboys. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Off play action. Grimes. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. They'll run with Mack. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Going for the deep ball. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. We documented it last week. They played so well defensively. 4 interceptions. Tried to get their hands on another one there.
And when you've had 4 the previous week, you are just itching for more the very next week. And there was a great opportunity. It went by the wayside. But let's not underscore what's going on with this defensive unit. They are around the ball every time it's being put in the air.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Off the play fake. Grimes. They'll roll him out right. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands.
Detroit! Detroit!
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Looking left sideline, it's complete. A big play here for the Cowboys. 53 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and sneak it here. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. Officially no gain on the sneak. Kind of a wasted play there, and now it's 3rd down. This Seattle defense, they haven't broken yet. Coming up here on a 3rd and goal situation.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. And his kick is good. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. It's complete to Chris Conley. And out across midfield down to the 45. Give him 30 yards there. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just 1 throw.
A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that?
Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Grimes, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Grimes. eluding the pressure right. And he comes back with one complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. So out now is the Seattle field goal team. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points. So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board. Spinning past him. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for. Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in. And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week. Excellent focus. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on 2nd down. Grimes dumps that off to Penny as running back. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, here we go.
Operating from the gun. Grimes. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Detroit!
Now a carry from Mack, and this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's Mack, and they'll get him down right about the 20. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down. And his kick is indeed good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And out now come the Seahawks. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, here's Henry. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Gone!
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
3-19. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Over.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up fourth. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And his kick is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Fielded about a yard deep. I don't know what was going on there, but the end result, this is going to be a safety. Well, I'm not totally privy to what went on with their offensive meetings, but, Charles, something tells me that one wasn't in the plan.
Yeah, when we had our production meeting, they didn't exactly share that with us, but I'm pretty sure that on the play sheet, the run backwards into your own end zone play was not written down.
And out now come the Cowboys. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll set up to throw. Being chased out left. And an alley to run. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, you got three. Three down. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Flush to his right. And it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Buying time to his left. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Grimes, he's going to let this go deep. It's caught at the 10. And all the way down to the 7-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Rashad Penny in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. Well, this could be a big turnaround. They get the touchdown here in the final moments of the second quarter. And remember, Charles, they're going to get the ball to start quarter number 3 as well.
So what you're saying is if they take the ball down to start the second half and score again, it could change the entire complexion of this game, couldn't it?
Absolutely. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. Well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a play fake here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play for the Cowboys on third. 54 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And the ball is knocked out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
All I know, partners, that with every play call that came in, there was a little discussion about, hey, we can seal this bad boy. We can really put ourselves in a great spot to take total control, and yet they find a way to cough it up.
Yeah, the 2-score game opportunity eludes them, and now a chance for the other side to come back here.
Yeah, that means defense has to go out there and make some plays themselves.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 45 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Looking to throw on second down. Grimes. And this is caught at the 8. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. So 3 plays, already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll try and run for it with Henry. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. Seven big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with third down upcoming. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. No gain on the play, and what to do now on fourth and goal.
Now this feels like old school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on fourth down?
And he didn't get there. Knocked backwards to the 2-yard line. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2. If they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Starting the drive with a give to Mack. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. No gain on the play there. Second down. Back to throw now in his own end zone. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
Off-play action. Grimes forced out to his left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Off the play fake. Grimes. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field, have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. From the gun, Grimes. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off Byron Jones. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Watch it now, Barney.
On third down, that's Mack. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick. Right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. On first down, Grimes flushed out right. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Detroit!
Now they try the right side here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game.
Back now in Arlington. It's the Cowboys with a football. They'll be looking to tack onto their lead as we get set for the 4th.
All right, now look at 56.
On 3rd down. That's Mack. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Going to give him 12 yards and a 1st down. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Detroit! Back 99 Philly, here we go! Watch him now, Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down near the 15. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
But he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And this one is right through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Detroit! Watch him now, Barney!
Off play action. Grimes. Caught here by Conley. And he's way down into Dallas territory inside the Cowboy 15. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 62 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And his kick is right there. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway. Now, that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first down, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Gone!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. First target, first catch, and a first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Here's Mack on the toss. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Staying on the ground with Mack. And a short gain down to about the 33. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often. But you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Throwing to start the drive. Grimes. He finds an opening past the 40. Going to throw right side here. Complete. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Off the play fake. Grimes. He'll buy some time right. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Throwing on first down. Grimes steps away to his left. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Looking to throw. Grimes under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Demarcus Lawrence in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. This to get it back to a 1-score game. And did he have enough? He did. He kept it online and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. 11 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage.